There we are. We're rolling.
Hi, Josh.
Hey, Noah.
How are you?
I'm good.
It's
I'm doing well.
Yeah, you feeling good?
Yeah, I guess. It's Sunday. That's pretty good.
Sunday after your birthday. I can
That's
tell you don't want to talk about it.
A few days after my birthday. No.
Yeah, but it's the Sunday after your birthday.
Is that a big deal?
No,
The Sunday after your birthday.
It's the day where you get to rest and reflect on your.
I have a 2-year-old. That doesn't happen. But you know what I just got reminded of by whispering?
Yeah. Oh, WhisperPod.
WhisperPod.
Has anybody heard it?
Before we started recording, we were trying to figure out what we were going to talk about today.
Yeah.
We got some things, but
WhisperPod is one of them.
WhisperPod, check it out. If you can stand it for more than a minute,
yeah,
I will start paying you.
It's really unnerving.
I can't even do it.
Really
I can't even listen to it. You know, part of the reason why I did that is because I hate the sound of whispering.
Yeah?
It's like nails on a chalkboard for me. Hey. I'm the one's wearing headphones right now.
Yeah, this is right in your. Hey, Josh. Our last podcast, our last piffle podcast, last piffle short, hashtag piffle short.
Yeah.
You started whispering something at Dan, and he said I was all for it until you started whispering. Right. Was that the inspiration for WhisperPod?
Partial. I'd been thinking of doing it for a while, but that was what kicked it into like me just finally saying I should just do this.
You know what I like about it, or don't like, what I find interesting about it, or like kind of funny, whatever, what you like, just intriguing about WhisperPod is that not the fact that you're whispering for 10 minutes straight about the news, is that you clearly have like an agenda.
I didn't intend to.
Yeah, but you have an agenda. You had like 3 things that you were going to talk about in the news, and it's so unpolished. Like the first 30 seconds, you're like umming and ahhing.
I know. It's horrible. Because I'm not going to spend a lot of time on this. This is not something I'm going to be putting a lot of effort into. I came up with that by opening up The Guardian, the front page of The Guardian, and just reading off the first 3 headlines.
But like as the time goes on with WhisperPod, like you start getting into your groove.
Yeah,
it's like.
Well, I
can only say this up until the 2-minute mark.
Yeah,
which is when I stopped listening.
Full disclosure, I that was like my 3rd attempt at doing it, because the first one I was just like, I literally, all right, let me just do this and see, and I just like started talking about nothing, and it's actually rather difficult to talk in a whisper for an extended period of time, and I like ran out of steam within 30 seconds. And I was like, okay, I got to come up with a theme. I have a topic. My goal was 10 minutes.
Yeah,
and then I decided I was going to talk about baking. I don't know why.
Is that how it ends?
No. Oh. So I started one where I was talking about baking, and it started getting into it in the same. I ran out of steam. I just couldn't do it. I had nothing to talk about after a while.
Couldn't reach that 10-minute mark.
And then, look, I'm an opinionated guy. I figured the news would be my best bet of having 10 minutes of material off the cuff of my head.
It's remarkable. It's actually exactly 10 minutes long.
Yeah. Well, I mean, look, I'm looking at the time.
Yeah, I know, but like that's including the beginning jingle and the end jingle.
Yeah, I guess that's true. Well, I did a couple of retakes at the beginning, so I took those out, and I had kind of an idea that.
Gotcha. Well,
anyway,
WhisperPod. You can find it on SoundCloud.
WhisperPod. I'm gonna keep doing it. I'm not taking it seriously in any respect.
Yeah.
Although our friend and former piffle guest, or recurring piffle guest, Jillian Grassi, pointed out that there is this whole subculture of people that it's a fetish. Whispering is a fetish, and there's this whole subculture of like, it's mostly YouTube videos. Because I looked if there were any whispering podcasts, and I really couldn't find any, but there's a whole collection of YouTube videos where it's frankly mostly women just like reading things off in whispers.
Weird.
And it's a whole fetish that's out there.
That's unnerving.
What is it? Oral something.
Oh, goodness.
It's got a whole acronym, which I think is hilarious and fascinating. Maybe I'll be able to tap into that market.
There you go, Josh. You might be the star of that weird underworld.
Anyway, What else do we want to talk about now?
We want to talk a little bit about CCB.
A lot, I think.
Sure.
Since really that's the point of us having come back to do things.
We came back early for this. So CCB's coming along.
Comedy Cafe Berlin, for those of you who don't know what he's talking about.
Yeah, sure. You should know by now.
It's true.
But for all you new listeners out there, Comedy Cafe Berlin.
If anybody starts listening to us with
right
now with this short, they haven't made it this far.
I commend you.
Yeah.
It's going very well. As of recording this podcast, we're at 96%.
Wow.
We fully expect to actually break that and reach 100% of our funding before the weekend is over. Someone has promised us.
No, okay.
That this would happen.
So, I'm giving you the opportunity.
Okay.
If someone comes to the Kickstarter this week, you're at 100. You're over 100%. You're funded.
Yeah.
What's the argument for them to give you money?
Well, Josh, good thing that you asked.
This was not a setup for him. I just want to make it clear. He was pretending like I'd set him up for this. I did not prep him for this question.
That's a really good question, Josh. We just actually announced stretch goals. So if you had read the update last week,
I haven't contributed.
That's right. Well,
so
you
I don't get updates
with a video, Josh,
and consultations.
That's true.
Gear. I've contributed by riding up to the music store multiple times to help buy gear.
We're doing a theater walkthrough tomorrow, Josh.
That's true. I'm doing that too.
So we announced.
I'm Sean Connery.
We've announced stretch goals.
Can you do this next bit in various accents?
We've announced stretch goals. 15,000 euros will get us. Will help us extend the sound system.
Oh, great! I'll get more money.
Yes, exactly. And then 20,000 euros will be able to expand our kitchen as well. And then there are also some incidentals as well.
So what does that mean? Expanding the kitchen? What's not in the kitchen right now?
So right now we don't have an exhaust, a ventilation system in the kitchen, which means that you can't really do things like fry food.
Oh yeah, okay.
Which isn't necessarily what we want to do, but it'll open up the option for us to really expand our menu and be able to do a lot more things. So that is something that we're definitely looking at.
Right. But you have like an oven and a stove.
We have an oven and a stove. In fact, just today.
Oh yeah.
We've finalized our pretzel.
It's gonna be pretzels.
Gonna be hot. I was going to say gooey, but that doesn't...
Ooh, yeah, don't do that. Stay away from that phrase.
No, but it's like the perfect crispy parts in the middle and then the soft parts and the thick parts. It's perfect. If anybody's gone to Hopfisterei...
I'm pretty sure that's a fetish too, people just saying words like that. Gooey, hot parts,
fluffy,
thick
hot
parts, middle parts.
These are all words we can use to describe pretzels. So the pretzels are all of the above.
Noah was just making air quotes around pretzels.
There's something else getting baked. So we're getting bio pretzels.
Bio means organic for those of you not in Germany.
Oh my goodness. Did I just do that? Organic pretzels from, I don't know the exact name. I have to consult my partners on the exact person who's...
Noah's taking care of the theater.
That's
His partners are taking care of the cafe.
But if you go to Hopfisterei, which is a Bavarian bakery in Germany, you get one of their pretzels. It's from the same company that delivers to them. So there you go.
All right.
Tasty.
So you're not making the pretzels. We're
not making them ourselves. We tried, and it was a failure.
So you're getting, but then you have to like bake them or whatever.
Yes, exactly. So we get them.
They're par baked.
No, they're not par baked.
They're just totally raw.
They're totally raw. The dough is frozen, which is actually what is supposed to happen with pretzels. You're supposed to freeze the dough.
Okay.
Even if you make them.
You hear that, everybody?
Yeah. Okay. So we'll get a delivery, and the frozen pretzel dough gets baked.
So you have a freezer too?
We have a freezer, yes. We'll just keep them in the dirt.
Buried in the basement.
Yes. So my point is that we just confirmed that we'll be doing that today. So that's an awesome, exciting piece of news.
I would also say
we need an oven for that. That was the original point. So we have an oven for that,
right?
Which is being picked up tomorrow. That
Nice.
doesn't matter. This is all really. It's like this is how fast things move now. We're doing all these little things that are really important.
What I would say is,
Yes.
if you come to the Kickstarter, you've been hemming and hawing and you haven't done it yet, and now they've made their goal.
That's right.
And you're thinking like, well, why would I do this? You're helping to keep that place, make sure that they're going to be able to really do what they want, and you get some nice little rewards.
Yeah.
I mean, if you put in a certain amount of money, you get, all right, you put in 20, you get your name on the wall. That's cool. That's your name's going to be on the wall in that place. But if you spend a little bit more, you get like free tickets to a show. You get to have a cocktail.
That was one of the newer rewards.
Right.
Yeah. So you did read it.
I read the rewards, but as I pointed out to you the other day,
Yeah.
you sent out an email saying there was new rewards and stretch goals. But at that time, you had only posted new rewards.
That's
the
true.
Stretch goals
You're
were not included.
very true. Yes. Thank you for staying on top of that.
Just pointing out that I was paying a little bit of attention.
So
Yeah.
we announced the stretch goals just now in this podcast. The new rewards.
Yeah.
30 euros, you get a cocktail.
Right.
Which is a seasonal cocktail, which will be designed by our very own Chris Davis.
Oh, he's going to do it.
Who's
Chris,
a mixologist.
He's friggin' amazing. Yeah.
He's an amazing mixologist, but also one of the best comedians in
I know.
Berlin.
It's a little unfair.
So he's a
but,
motherfucker. And
He's got a little bit of heartburn from those tacos we had earlier.
Josh and I usually spend Sunday evenings eating tacos.
Eating tacos and then recording podcast.
The other reward, Josh, 1,000 euros. 1,000 euros, and you're like, oh my God, what's that?
Right.
Your own private comedy sports show.
It can be a comedy sports show.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's a pretty good deal.
There you go.
500 euros, you still get to name a toilet.
You still get to name a toilet.
I think that's, if I had that kind of money to throw around and I wasn't already doing a lot for you, that's what I would do.
Rumor has it that that's what's coming in today.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Someone's going to name a turlet.
Turlet. Yes, indeed. That's the weekly CCB update, Josh.
And if are you guys going to do another open house?
Not an open house, but we will have an opening party.
Okay, yeah.
Which
good.
is this is the first announcement, Josh.
Oh my God! Now you got to stick to it.
I know.
Hope
Well,
something doesn't go
I
wrong.
know. If nothing goes wrong, October 18th, which is a Sunday,
There's going to be a big old.
open party.
So the show
Opening
will
party.
be free. There'll be a show with a mixed show of comedy.
Exactly. You'll see sort of a blitz of stand-up comedy, improv.
Blitz really the word you want to use in Germany.
I'm sticking with it. I announced it. A blitz comedy.
It's a blitz comedy.
Yeah, there'll be some English, some German, some
Okay.
improv.
Great.
It'll all be there. Opening party. It's all free,
Except for
food drinks and all that
yeah,
stuff.
right.
There are no tickets. We'll
Right.
probably pass the hat.
I think you
for
should.
everybody.
Yeah.
Well, details on that will unravel.
I don't know.
Unravel.
Sure, but hopefully not unravel.
Let's hope things don't unravel. Details to come. That's
There
what I
we
meant to say. So October 18th, mark that down in your calendars already. And then following that, Josh, that week end, shows will be rolling.
That kicks it off.
That kicks it off.
Shows will start happening.
Yeah.
So
and,
exciting.
We're also soft launching, so we will be open as a cafe and a bar.
You're not supposed to say that if it's going to be soft launch.
Well, it's only soft for the people listening to this piffle short. It's not soft.
The middle parts and the hard soft launch with your soft parts.
It's going to be the... Actually, now, for the people listening to this, it's actually the hard parts. It's the hard, crunchy parts. For everyone else, it's a soft, fluffy, gooey, steamy launch.
It was one other thing we wanted to talk about. What was it?
We could announce, again, remind people about our Piffle episode, which is coming out. We'll be recording live at CCB.
Sure, we could do that
on the 24th.
On the 24th, we need to get planning on that.
Speaking of the devil,
we got a pretty good idea. It's going to be a very different show this next season. We're switching things up. I've been going through. There's going to be a clip show that's going to come out probably this next week.
Yep.
A week from when you started listening to this. But I've been going through to gather material for the year in review or the whatever clip show, and I realized when we started the show 2 years ago, we did like 4 rounds of piffle in the shows.
Yeah.
And then like shortly thereafter, we realized like, oh, this is untenable. And we recorded 4, but we only put 3 in a show. We take out the worst one just to give ourselves some more room. And then when we started season 2, we recorded 3, but we only put 2 in the final show. And now we're recording 1 and only putting 1 in the show.
We read the writing on the wall.
Yeah. The amount of research and work we have to do for those rounds.
Not worth it.
Just can't happen.
It's just untenable.
Yeah. So anyway, nevertheless, as our Oma used to say, our grandma used to say, it's still going to be. We got some really fun stuff lined up. Looking forward to season 3. Piffle.
Yeah, and those that event will be posted begin top of October, so you can already start reserving tickets for that.
Nice, good.
Yeah.
Did you watch the Berlin Marathon?
Oh, Josh, did I ever? My balcony overlooks it.
Oh yeah. I mean, ours does too, but kind of off-centered.
Yeah, off-centered. And well, it's a funny weekend because they block off the route for the marathon even a day before, and they actually have like other events running the marathon.
The inline skating.
The inline skating is the thing that kicks it off. It's so funny.
Thing. I feel I know they don't do it in New York, but I wonder if similar stuff happens in other cities.
But did you happen to notice before the actual running marathon today?
Oh, they had the wheelchair guys.
Well, not all of them were. Well, maybe they were. Well,
they're all wheelchair. Yeah, it's a wheelchair race.
They were all, I guess, handicapped.
Yeah. Well,
because in
some respect, yeah.
Yeah, because you can't tell. They just all look like they're in recumbent bikes.
Well, some of them are in. I saw a few people with. Yeah, they look like recumbent bikes because they're pedaling with their hands. Right. But then I saw quite a few people in like speed wheelchairs where they're actually still doing like the wheelchair, on the movement.
Right.
Not with a pedal, but moving the wheels.
So yesterday, I saw someone on the inline skating.
Yeah.
With a prosthetic leg inline skating, and it was really impressive.
Wow, that is. You know what? I had this realization today because we saw the marathon last year too, and clearly the guys that are at the front, who are all Kenyan, Ethiopian, that's like insanely impressive. It's just incredible. These guys, they're when they come to us, they're about the 17-kilometer mark, and they've done it in like a half hour or whatever.
I think the number was 47 minutes.
Okay, 40, whatever, it's close enough. Yeah. I mean, I can't run a mile in 47 minutes. But I just remember having this thing last year where I was like, and then for hours you just see people coming by,
literally hours. That's not a joke.
And in the middle of that, after a while, you're like, you see like people who, they just it's normal people.
Yeah.
And I remember this realization from last year going, if I trained, if I started working out and like exercise, running, if I started like training with running, I could do that. And then like fast forward to a year of me having not done, like just sat in front of my computer, and I'm back in front of these people going, I could do that. I could still do that. I'm the biggest dick in the entire planet. What a fucking judgmental asshole I am. Like I could do that. I could do that. I'm gonna go home and watch some.
It is true though. Like there is at some point where you start seeing sort of the body tone of people, and you're like, yeah, they start resembling my body. I could do that. Right. Because in the beginning, it's like, it's like they're like,
there's just no way.
Yeah, they're like gazelles, and then you start seeing like, less fit, but still like speedy. And you're like, nah, that's not my class. And then like all of a sudden you see like,
right,
your average.
But it's right in the middle because you're not going to compare yourself to the guy at the end
who's walking.
Right. But right in the middle, you're like, I could do that. I still couldn't.
You still
I guarantee
can't do that.
I couldn't.
No.
But I do have to catch myself often too, because you see, like even like right in the middle, like people who probably get it done in like 3 hours, 4 hours, which is still quite impressive.
The average is 4 hours and 16 minutes,
something like that.
Yeah.
But you see people like running weird. Do you know what I mean? Like they've got some weird, and you go like, they don't know what they're doing. Yeah. I could run better.
They're gonna burn out.
Yeah. And meanwhile, I'm just literally just standing there watching them.
There's some people who are clearly being paid by like beer companies to wear these like costumes.
Yeah. Oh, that's horrible.
Yeah, no. I was thinking like that's also impressive, but like horrible. Like running a marathon in a foam suit
costume.
Yeah.
What I thought actually, what really, really bothered me and disturbed me was that right around the corner from our place is the drink station. They have like a water station.
Yeah.
And it's probably like 50 meters of just tables and volunteers just handing out cups of water, plastic cups of water. And so from that point on, for probably another 50 to 100 meters, the road, I'm not joking, is just littered with plastic cups.
Oh, no.
I mean, tens of thousands of plastic
Did you snap
cups.
a shot?
Yeah.
Did you snap a shot?
I took a photo and I have evidence. It is just kind of...
It is gross.
It's a little disturbing. There's got to be a better way to do it than that.
I guess because yesterday after the inline skaters, I had watched until the end.
Yeah.
Why? I have no idea. But there was the trash crew right behind them, but there was no trash because they weren't dumping anything.
It's probably the same thing. I mean,
well, I'm sure at the end of the marathon they had those guys. I mean, one thing to be said, like the plastic waste is egregious, but like immediately after they're cleaning it up.
Oh yeah.
You know,
that's yes, that's what happens here.
Yeah.
I've seen parades and various other things in New York where for months afterwards you still see the detritus.
Oh man, I just remembered bringing up this skating marathon. When I was here in high school, so I went to high school here, I was in the middle of the city, so Mitte, which is for people who know Berlin.
It's middle. It's imagine having a district in your city just called Middle. Anyway, go ahead.
I was in, it was like midnight. The streets were dead. And all of a sudden there was a marathon of skaters.
It was like, what's the bike?
It was like mass.
Critical mass, but for inline skaters.
Yeah. And it was insane. I felt like it was in in Magnolia, and all of a sudden like
movie.
Like this weird, like, like the frogs just drop it. Like I felt like I was in that kind of a situation. Yeah. And apparently, like I don't know if that has anything to do with the marathon, but apparently, like once a year that happens. There's like a
midnight marathon.
Yeah, midnight inline skating. It's not
inline skating marathon,
but it wasn't inline skating. It was like all kinds of skating.
So people on like disco skates.
Yeah, exactly. It was just sort of surreal.
Your wife is sitting here impatiently staring around. She was, for the first 20 minutes, she was looking at her phone, and now she's done with the internet. I think it's time to go.
It's time to go, guys. Thanks for listening. If you made it all the way this way through, this all the way through.
Good.
Words.
Now I have to edit this. I'm not gonna edit.
That's that taco coming out.
Thanks for listening, everybody. Apologies for that last part. That's never gonna happen again.
That's right.
Keep listening.
It might actually happen again. We'll speak to you next week, and stay tuned for a clip show.
Yeah.